This was a few hours ago at the United Nations briefing. I'll play it for you. Then I have some comments at the end about this fiasco that's going on.
Good afternoon, everyone, and sorry for this delay. It's a very busy day here for us in Geneva, and that will make us have this press conference very shorter than usual. Journalists online, it's clicking raise hand to ask questions, those dialing in *9. Today we have Dr. Tedros, Dr. Sylvie Briand, and Dr. Mike Ryan that I don't really need to introduce specifically. Today we will start with the questions from journalists online. This is because we need to set up room at another part of the building where we'll have a Secretary General of the United Nations visiting W.H.O. I will give a floor to Dr. Tedros immediately for his opening remarks.
Yeah, thank you, Tariq. And good afternoon, everyone. Let me start, as always, with the latest numbers. As of 6 a.m. Geneva time this morning, China has reported a total of 77,362 cases of COVID-19 to WHO, including 2,618 deaths. In the past 24 hours, China has reported 416 new confirmed cases and 150 deaths. We're encouraged by the continued decline in cases in China. Earlier today, the WHO China Joint Mission concluded its visit and delivered its report. As you know, the team has traveled to several different provinces, including Wuhan. The team has made a range of findings about the transmissibility of the virus, the severity of the disease, and the impact of the measures taken. They found that the epidemic peaked and plateaued between the 23rd of January and the 2nd of February, and has been declining steadily since then. They have found that there has been no significant change in the DNA of the virus. They found that the fatality rate is between 2% and 4% in Wuhan and 0.7% outside Wuhan. They found that for people with mild disease, recovery time is about 2 weeks, while people with severe or critical disease recover within 3 to 6 weeks. The team also estimates that the measures taken in China have averted a significant number of cases. The report contains a wealth of other information and highlights questions for which we still don't have answers, and includes 22 recommendations. Dr. Bruce Aylward will give more details tomorrow on behalf of the joint team. But the key message that should give all countries hope, courage, and confidence is that this virus can be contained. Indeed, there are many countries that have done exactly that. Outside China, there are now 2,000.
Okay, I want to stop that. I've got to take you to another video. Hold on just a second. Let me get this. Give me just a second to look around here. One of the points I want to, or a couple of points I want to make while I'm looking here. Sorry, folks, I got sidetracked here. Let me see if I can find where I'm looking for. I want the WHO. At WHO. Okay, now I'm at the World Health Organization. Let me see how long this one's 30 minutes. I want to get you the latest one here. Yeah, this is from 3 hours ago. Let's listen to this one and then I'll give you commentary on what a scam all this stuff is.
Disease is contained. I think it's important to say that all countries, and this is now a problem that is affecting many countries in the world, all countries must do everything to be prepared, and all countries must do everything, respecting naturally the principle of non-discrimination, without stigmatization, respecting human rights, but doing everything that they can to contain the disease. The disease.
Respecting human rights? Give me a break. 500 million people in lockdown quarantine. Sorry, folks, but I just can't sit by and watch this this lie after lie.
It's still possible to be contained, but if some fail, if some do not do everything that is needed, this can still become out of control with dramatic consequences in global health and global economy. So my strong appeal to all countries to assume their responsibilities and knowing that they can full count on WHO to support them in that effort.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary General. We just have a question for Reuters.
Yes, Mr. Secretary General, Reuters, Stephanie Netherhill.
I am deaf, so if you can use something that amplifies.
Secretary General, Reuters, you've expressed some of your concerns. Can you tell us?
Here's another little trick mainstream media likes to use. Why don't they give a microphone to the journalist so the public can know what question they're asking? That's Reuters right there. Asking a question and you can't even hear what she's saying. They don't give her a mic.
If you were able to bring political commitment and help with the funding issue, the funding gaps that WHO and some of the other response partners are facing, and do you think the response has been enough? And how are you helping to get them over the hump in the funding?
Well, if there is something completely stupid to do in today's world, is not to fully fund WHO appeals. Because WHO appeals are vital to support member states to avoid this tragic disease to become a global nightmare. So my appeal to all donors is to make sure that WHO appeals in relation, of course, to this virus, but also in relation to the other commitments of WHO around the world, Ebola and many others, that WHO appeals are fully funded.
Chinois.
Ok. Monsieur Idriss. Oui. Donc, après vous, est-ce que la lutte contre le coronavirus en Chine est efficace jusqu'à aujourd'hui? Et quel message vous allez envoyer pour la population chinoise, surtout la population de Wuhan, qui lutte aujourd'hui en difficulté contre le virus? Merci.
Je tiens à vous transmettre que l'information que j'ai obtenue de l'Organisation mondiale de la santé, d'après la visite récemment faite en Chine, c'est que dès le commencement du mois de février, le nombre de cas est en train de baisser. Et ça, c'est une très bonne indication. Et j'espère que cette indication puisse être maintenue d'une façon continuée. Et mon message,
Let me go on ahead. See
de tous les aspects positifs de la vie dont nous jouissons, obrigado. De nada.
Okay, I want to go ahead and just let you know this is from my experience reporting on this kind of stuff. This is all a sham. It's all a sham. Who don't even begin to trust WHO. That's part of the United Nations. Don't trust the CDC. WHO didn't respond to the outbreak. I've got reports of this happening as long ago as October of 2019. WHO's slow response to this is unbelievable. If anybody should be under the gun, it should be WHO. And the CDC, the same story. The very people I just don't know how I can explain this to you. I've been reporting on the New World Disorder for 30 plus years now. And that's what this is. And I've been reporting that there's going to be the way they're going to take all our rights away and all our freedoms away around the world is by creating a humanitarian crisis, and they're coming in under the guise of a humanitarian effort to save the world. That's not their goal. Their goal is taking away our rights, taking away our freedoms. I've got news on my website showing that quarantines do not work. History has proved that quarantines don't work. All the information that you need and what I'm telling you is on my website, thefutureofnews.info. Go see for yourself. I source all my posts. Take a look for yourself, and you decide what's going on.
According to Google Books, an excellent, reassuring book for women and their partners.
Taking away people's rights and freedoms under the guise of a humanitarian effort. That is the scam. And mainstream media is the biggest, a big culprit in this too. They're the ones pushing it, saying WHO is wonderful, CDC is wonderful. They're working so hard. This is the elite, folks. This is the powers that be. This is the 1%. This is the global deep state. This is the establishment. And here's the worst part. The whole world thinks that they're the reason this thing is spread, folks, is from inaction. Number one, they didn't even do anything. They stood by and let this happen. They had it one report from October of 2019. They weren't on top of the ball. And you think that's an accident? That's just a mistake? It's not a friggin' mistake. It's being done on purpose. And then number two, what do? They take all these infected people and fly them all over the globe. Do you think that's just a mistake? Do you think it's just a coincidence? They just overlooked this? No, it's intentional. And now they're saying they don't even have this, don't even have a pandemic category anymore. They announced that today. If this does get to a real, where everybody sits up and says, this is it, this is the big event. This is the big event I've been reporting on for 30 years. Taking away all of your rights, all of your freedoms, under the guise of a humanitarian effort. Now you can choose to believe one person who is telling you that that is what's going on, or you can believe mainstream media who is corporate owned and they have an agenda. Arms sales, Wall Street, everything. The stock market is plunging. Do you think this is all a mistake? It's just kind of unfolding. This is a planned event, folks. Now you understand how evil can get if this thing spirals out of control, and it's just about there. I'm doing this as a commentary. I know I'm not your average reporter, but we're in a state of emergency, folks, and I'm going to tell you the truth one way or the other, however I have to do it. And you can decide whether I'm a nut, whether I'm a conspiracy nut or not. Who's telling you the truth? Corporate-owned mainstream media or a citizen reporter, which is a true free press? And if it takes commentary for me to do this, that's what I'm going to do. And as you can see, people flock to mainstream media, and I'm not the only one in this. There are hundreds of millions of citizen reporters like me who are trying to get the truth out. I'm not the only one. But people flock to whoever's reporting the mainstream media stuff and people who are trying to get the actual truth out, nobody will step forward and support those people. You just leave all those people who are trying to get the truth out in this world, you desert them. Thank y'all for watching, and the only thing that we can do at this point in history is getting the word out to people who don't know what's going on. The more people that are educated, the better our chances to fight this new world disorder. And that's exactly what this is about. They've been calling world leaders, all the bigwigs have been calling for a new world order since 1915. That's 100 years, folks. And in 100 years, things have just gotten worse and worse and worse. Do you know why? Because they just tell you they want a new world order. They don't want a new world order. They want disorder. They want us fighting with each other. That way they have control. So you decide which side of history you want to be on. It's your choice, your play.